The Caribbean we know is a sun-drenched Hollywood lie.
True piracy was a descent into a salt-stained hell.
It wasn't about adventure. It was about raw survival.
The ocean was a desert of salt and thirst.
Justice was a cage left to rot in public.
A man's life cost less than a gallon of rum.
The tide eventually claims everything we leave behind. The horizon offered no hope, only fire and blood. Forget the legends. The truth is much darker. Hunger made the crew eat bugs and sawdust.
Breathe the rot of 100 unwashed men.
The surgeon's saw was the only cure for infection. Water was poison. Alcohol was the only escape. They signed their souls away in a pact of blood.
A brutal democracy born from the ashes of tyranny.
The rats were the only ones eating well. In the middle of nowhere, direction was a myth. Rope burn was the least of a sailor's worries. The sea is a monster that never sleeps.
One storm could erase a decade of theft.
Scurvy turned your gums into black, rotting mush.
Pain was the constant reminder of being alive. Davy Jones' locker is full of forgotten names. They were walking corpses before the ship even sank. The Empire's pen was deadlier than any sword. Commerce was built on chains and stolen lives.
Order was maintained by a lead bullet.
The slave trade was the Caribbean's deepest scar. They didn't free slaves, they stole the cargo. The P brand meant you were marked for death. Gold and bone were the currency of the age. Wealth and power protected some, while others faced harsh punishment. In Port Royal, the wickedest city in the New World, nature finally swallowed the city of sin. Now only the sharks attend the morning mass. To the king, a pirate was just a nuisance. Legality was a thin veil for state-sponsored theft. When the Navy arrived, the party ended in blood.
Mercy was not a word the Admiralty understood.
Over time, thick barnacle growth made ships slower and harder to maintain. The hull became dangerously rough after long voyages at sea. One pistol, one shot, and a horizon of salt.
Hunger and madness were the only visitors here.
Edward Teach, a man who looked like the devil. His flag told you to surrender or die. Fear was his greatest weapon of war. The sweat was a deadly game of exhaustion.
They kept tokens as warnings to others.
Pain was an art form in the Caribbean.
Harsh punishments were used to enforce obedience. The flies were the final kings of the sea.
The greatest treasure was often a pile of lies. Trust was a luxury no pirate could afford.
The captain is the last to feed the fish.
The rope was the inevitable end for them all.
They walked to the gallows with heads held high. The devil finally returned to the dark water. Legend says his body swam 3 laps around.
Women who proved more vicious than any man.
Their legacy is carved in blood and dust. The black spot, the mark of a dead man. The Caribbean is a graveyard of broken dreams.
The ghosts of the Caribbean never truly left.
Time erases the men, but the iron remains. The gold wasn't worth the soul it cost.
The sun set on the age of the piracy.
Dead men tell no tales, but the sea remembers.
Forget the movies. Remember the truth. Sleep well.
Subscribe for more hidden dark history